Maniac Cop 2 was actually miles better than the first Maniac Cop. Yeah, I'm actually shocked that I'm saying that as well. Not that the first one was a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but the sequel is actually a good movie. It's actually good. And I'm not saying that with like it's good in a bad movie way or anything like that. It's actually really good. I thought it was brilliant. It actually took me by surprise. It's the first time I've actually sat down while watching these movies and doing these reviews and going, this is actually good. Like, I really enjoyed it. So, basically the plot of the movie is it's pretty similar to the first one, guys. I mean, Matt Cordell's come back. He's actually a zombie now. So he has died. Whereas they left it a bit ambiguous in the first one. He's a zombie in this one now. He looks like a zombie anyway. He doesn't look too great. He looks like in this movie how I looked yesterday morning after spending a night in my local drinking double house whiskies. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. Shout out to you guys anyway. So yeah, he's back to gain revenge on the two main leads that saw his watery demise at the end of the first one. And he does that quite quick. I mean, Bruce Campbell is literally in this movie. I wouldn't even say 10 minutes. And he just gets took out straight away. Like, there's, pretty easy. Knife through the throat. See you later. And I quite like that, actually. Because no one is safe in this movie. It makes you think, if they can kill the main lead of the last movie in the first 10 minutes of this, then anyone could go at any moment. And I quite like that. And also, the other main lead gets taken out. I would say close to halfway through in this movie as well. So it leaves it open for our new main lead, who was played by Robert. Is it Davy or Davy? Whatever his last name is. He's brilliant in this film, by the way. They had some good actors in these movies. Tom Atkins, Bruce Campbell, Robert Davy, however you pronounce his last name, I don't know. Robert Sadar as Matt Cordell. Again, I think I've just gone straight into my positives here, haven't I? Right, I'll carry on. Robert Sadar as Matt Cordell, again, is phenomenal. Like, Matt Cordell is terrifying. He's a force of nature. He is literally a one-man wrecking machine. There is absolutely no way you would want to bump into this guy in a dark alleyway. You would absolutely shit your pants. And then after you finish shitting your pants, you'd shit them again. This guy is scary as hell, man. And he's brutal. And Matt Cordell should be up there with the likes of Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. When you're talking about iconic horror villains, he should be named in the same breath with them, I think, because I like him as a character. And what I like about Robert Sadar, who plays him, he doesn't have an awful lot to say. In fact, he has one line in this movie. One line, and all he says is, Cordell. Oh, Jesus Christ. I nearly killed myself. Hang on. But he brings a lot to the character just with his movement and it's a good performance. And it must be hard for an actor if they don't have many lines to say or many words. It must be more difficult because it must be all about the body and how they move. And he seems to say a lot without doing much. And I can only assume that's a talented performance in my eyes. So like, thumbs up to him. He's brilliant. And also as well, you could tell there was a little bit of a higher budget for the sequel because the stunt work in this film is fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. Like, there's some really great car chasing. There's a scene where a character is handcuffed to a steering wheel and Matt Cordell loosens the handbrake and sets it off. That whole sequence is brilliant. Like, the stunt work is really good in this movie. And near the end, where Matt Cordell is set on fire, and the whole sequence, I think it must go up to maybe about 5 minutes. But this stunt guy is on fire for like the majority of that scene. And they probably didn't film it in one go, granted, but it's impressive. Man, it really is. And he's setting other people on fire who he's fighting. Like, it's a fantastic action sequence. And like, so thumbs up. Like, the stunt work is brilliant in this movie. It's actually just a really good film. Like, I'm happily surprised, pleasantly surprised. To be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. I really did. What else? Oh, there's another great action scene in this where it took the leaf out of Terminator. He goes into this police precinct and just starts massacring nearly everybody in there. And this is how hard Matt Cordell is, by the way. He doesn't open doors. He walks through doors. And if he doesn't walk through a door, he will use someone else to open the bloody door. And he will walk through it. He's fucking terrifying. And he looks great as well. Like, his skin has really decayed in this movie. So how I will take it is he died at the end of the first. For me, he was still alive in the first Maniac Cop movie. But he definitely dies at the end of that because he had that bloody thing go like straight through him. It's like, no one's getting up from that, are they? Well, no, in saying that, I've just contradicted myself. Matt Cordell gets up from that. But he's dead, right? He's a zombie. He is. And again, same as the first one, I love the way they shoot him. Like, you only see glimpses of him. And, he's always like pretty much in the shadows with his face. And it's just terrifying looking. It really is. But then you do see him properly. Kind of in the last act of the movie. From when he actually goes into the police precinct. You see his face, a lot more in the light. And it looks great, to be fair. But it doesn't linger on him that long. I think if it just held on his face long, you'd probably think to yourself, he probably looks a bit dodgy or whatever. But because it's only kind of quick here and there and it doesn't linger on him too much, it looks good. It's shot very well, I have to say that. The film is directed brilliantly. So yeah, thumbs up on that. Really is. I just really enjoyed it. Like, you can tell I was surprised. I actually really enjoyed it. I really did. And also as well, because it doesn't really explain it too well in the first one, which is fine. Or maybe, like I said, maybe I just missed it. I don't know. But they do go more into Matt Cordell's backstory and what actually happened to him. And you do feel for the character of Matt Cordell as well. It's you kind of root for him in a weird sort of way to kind of get his justice. But then you feel bad rooting for him because he is killing innocent people as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, you kind of want to see him get justice, but at the same time you're thinking like, why are you killing innocent people for? Like, don't do it. Just go after the people that wronged you. But then they do explain in the first one how he was like clinically brain dead and stuff, and he's messed up from what's happened to him. So, but then again, the film is called Maniac Cop, so there you are. Basically, there it is. And also as well, like, this felt like what the first film should have been. Like, he goes after the people that wronged him in this movie. And it makes you feel like that's what the first film could have been. But Hey, I like the first movie, as you know, from my review, and this is one of them rare instances in horror movies where the sequel is better than the original. It is. This is a better movie than the first one. This is, like, I must have said it 100 times already. This is a really good movie. Also, my biggest positive as well, because I'm a simple guy and I have simple tastes. There's a couple of strip club scenes in this movie, and whenever I, whenever I see some like beautiful women stripping, I tend to like it. Call me weird, but gets a big thumbs up from me. Thanks for that. Don't mind seeing a bit of TNA in horror movies, you know. And whenever there's a moment where a beautiful woman comes on screen and I go, oh, A up, that gets a thumbs up. So that's a big positive. That jumps you up a mark already. Right. So to go into my negatives and my little gripe with the movie is there's a character that Leo Rossi plays, and it's like a subplot of another serial killer who murders strippers, by the way, hence why we have strip club scenes in the movie. Now, it's not him as an actor or his performance, which is really good, by the way. It's his character I couldn't stand. Now, let's not get confused. It's his character I couldn't stand. Not the actor or his performance, the character. He annoyed the living piss out of me in this movie. He just wouldn't shut up. And the reason why he's in this movie is because he befriends Cordell. And he make it seem like Cordell uses him to get from A to B, basically, to get to a certain point that he needs to be. But he really doesn't need him. Cordell could actually get from A to B on his own, to be fair. And he doesn't need this character with him. And the only reason why I can think that this character is in the movie is to be a mouthpiece for Cordell, because Cordell doesn't speak. Basically, apart from Cordell, doesn't say anything. So I can only assume that's why he's in the movie. But they could have just completely not had him there. It wouldn't have made any difference. And the character's just so annoying. There was a couple of times I was sat there watching just thinking, my God, will this guy shut the fuck up? So let me get this straight. It's the character I couldn't stand, not the actor's performance, not the actor. I thought he did well, but it's the character I couldn't stand. I just want to make that clear, because I know he'll probably be a favourite for a lot of people, but I couldn't bear him, to be fair. He did my head in. So, all in all, guys, I highly, highly, highly recommend the sequel. I think you could even skip Maniac Cop 1, to be fair. You could actually just watch the second one, and you would know what happened in the first, because it catches you up anyway. But it does feel like that this movie could have been the first Maniac Cop movie. So if you didn't want to watch the first, I do highly recommend watching the second. But then I highly recommend you watch the first one as well, because I do like these two movies. But I have heard that the third one isn't that good. But we'll see, because I like to make my own mind up. So with that being said, guys, I give Maniac Cop 2, I do give it a high score. And I give it 4.5 out of 5. I highly recommend this, guys. Definitely give this a watch, because it's a good movie. You'll have a good time with it. Alright, guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me. And look after yourselves and each other.